Welcome to Court Helicopter Explainer, where we are looking at how Dr. Johansen Oduor, a serious pathologist with a bachelor's degree in medicine, with a master's degree in pathology, at age 55, entered into law school and studied law and was admitted last week as an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. We want to understand what is the route for one to be an advocate, because very many Kenyans want to do law, but they are unable to do law. This is the route map. One must finish Form 4. After you have finished Form 4, the requirements are that you do a bachelor's degree for 4 years in a university accredited by the Council for Legal Education. The universities are many. After 4 years, a student gets an LLB, a bachelor's degree of law. After a bachelor's degree of law, one has got to apply to go to the Kenya School of Law for what is called Advocates Training Program, which takes 1 year. After you have done your academic year for 1 year, you will leave and go to an advocate's office. In an advocate's office, you will come for what is called judicial attachment or pupillage. You come here to an advocate's office. Only advocates who have practiced for more than 5 years can take a maximum of 2 pupils at a time. You do pupillage for 6 months. After 6 months, if you passed your exam at the School of Law, then you will petition to be admitted as an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. That petition is presented to the Chief Justice. The Chief Justice admits you and you become an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. An advocate like we have Timothy. As an advocate, we have Dr. Johansen Oduor as an advocate. So what are the requirements that has put so many Kenyans away from going to school? We have what is called the Kenya School of Law Act. This is the act. The Kenya School of Law Act, second schedule, section 16, admission requirements. The admission requirements will be as follows. Admission requirements into the Advocates Training Program. A person shall be admitted to the school if A, having passed the relevant examination of any recognized university in Kenya, or of any university, university college, or other institution prescribed by the council. He must be holding or becomes eligible for the conferment of the Bachelor of Laws degree, LLB, of that university, university college or institution. Or B, having passed the relevant examinations of a university, university college, or other institutions prescribed by the Council of Legal Education, holds or has become eligible for the conferment of the Bachelor of Laws degree, LLB, in the grant of that university, university college, or other institution. 1. B1. Attained a minimum entry requirement for admission to a university in Kenya. And that is where most students fail. The minimum entry requirement for students to university is a C+. B is where the danger is, and obtained a minimum grade B, plain, in English language or Kiswahili, and a mini grade of C plus in the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education or its equivalent. So this student in Form 4, that student must get a C plus, a mini grade of C plus. On top, that student must obtain a mini grade of B plain in English or Kiswahili. Lastly, has certain passed the pre-bar examination set by the school. These are the requirements. So the questions are, here is a student who has an A, mini grade A, but has a B minus in English. That student will never go to study law. A student must have a mini grade of B in Kiswahili or in English. The rationale is that lawyers, their biggest tool are words. And the words are in Kiswahili and in English. Is this not discriminatory? All other degrees, students are not told to pass English or Kiswahili. Is this the reason why we have so many students who can't do law? Why is Kenya prohibiting students from doing the law? These students who are doctors, they are not required to have a B plain. The students who are architects, the students who do B-commerce, students who do engineering, students who do IT, students who do communication, students who do every profession are not having B as a requirement in English and Kiswahili. We went to see why is this like that. And Kenyans, parents have their kids want to do law, they are being denied to do law. Somebody who has a degree, who has done PhD, a master's degree, but didn't have a B in English, will be denied to go to the Kenya School of Law. Can you imagine? A professor who did but failed in English, not failing, got a B or got a C, cannot be allowed to do law. Yet, this person is a professor of engineering, is an architect, is a master's person, is a professional consultant doctor, cannot do law. Agreed with this, Babu Owino. All of you know Babu Owino. Lawyer, my client, Babu Owino, moved a motion in Parliament. And this motion, he filed what is called a National Assembly's bill, that is the Kenya Gazette Supplement, on the 12th of June 2025, a bill for introduction into the National Assembly. This is the Kenya School of Law Amendment Bill 2025. Babu Owino, in his introductory remarks, has put it here that this is a memorandum and objects and reasons. The objects of this bill is to amend the Kenya School of Law Act, Cap 16C, to confer upon the Council of Legal Education the power to prescribe admission requirements to courses of study at the Kenya School of Law. This is dated 11th of June 2025. Babu Owino, Member of Parliament. What is Babu Owino's bill proposing? In the second schedule, Babu Owino puts second schedule of Cap 16C, which is proposed to amend second schedule C. It says, this is the recommendation to amend all this we have said. And Babu Owino has put it very clearly in his proposal that the admission requirements will be as follows. Admission requirements into the advocates training program. A person shall be admitted to the school if, having passed the relevant examination of any university, recognized university in Kenya, or any university, university college, or other institution prescribed by the council, and holds or becomes eligible for the conferment of the bachelor's degree in law. B, having passed the relevant examinations of a university degree and has been granted an LLB degree. 3, this is where Babu's recommendation will save very many people. One who has attained a minimum entry requirement for admission to a university in Kenya. Babu is saying, if you have a minimum entry requirement to do a degree in Kenya, then you cannot be excluded from doing law. Because to him, all degrees are the same. B, one who has obtained a minimum grade of B plain in English language or Kiswahili and a mini grade of C plus in the Kenya certificate and has sat the bar examination. So Babu is saying these requirements must be amended, and anybody who has a C plus should be allowed to do law. Remove the qualification of B plus, of B in English. What is the import of this? We have people, young people, who have a passion for law. The profession formerly was very strict because they were saying young people without a B cannot do law. 2, there was massive resistance when Module 2, Kibaki brought in the Module 2, that is studying in the evening. People, luminaries like Dr. Johansen Oduor could not have entered into the legal fraternity without that parallel program of studying in the evening. People with degrees, some of the people went to do law because their parents told them they must do either medicine, they must do engineering, but they wanted to do law. Today, we have a plethora of advocates with serious multidisciplinary approaches. Several police officers, DCI officers have graduated and they are doing law. Several judicial officers who are clerks have studied law and they are now practicing advocates. They are magistrates. They are soon going to become judges. Doctors like Professor Kiama, a serious doctor in medicine, started law. He has accomplished that. Yours truly, Danstan Omari, I did law as a second degree. I started law after doing bachelor's degree in education. Yours truly, Wakili Steve Mugaka, the Member of Parliament for West Mogrango, is an accomplished accountant. He finished accountants and went to do law at an old age. He's now the current Member of Parliament for West Mogrango. Advocate Evan Sondieki is also somebody who did law later in life after doing a different degree. Very many advocates, very many senior advocates in this town have come to do law at an old age. My appeal is that let this bill of Babu Owino go through so that any child can invoke Article 27 of the Constitution. What does Article 27 of the Constitution say you cannot discriminate anybody. So that group of students who want to do law, but they are being told they must have a B plane, is a serious discrimination against them. I remember when I went to court representing a client in the UNISA case. These were students who did law virtually from a university degree in South Africa called UNISA. The Kenya School of Law rejected that they must have attended classes physically. Justice Abrili, we argued that matter before Justice Abrili, and Justice Abrili allowed the virtual study methods. We didn't know. Later, COVID came. The same School of Law that was saying it cannot take virtual students, the same School of Law allowed them to do classes virtually. The courts today are virtual. Court Helicopter is coming to you through the social media, the virtual mode of the social media. So we are in support with the Babu Owino that this law is long overdue. We need our children to do what they want. Remember, not everybody who does law is going to practice law. Johansen Oduor, listen to him.
I chose law because law is, first of all, a noble profession. And when you look at the legal way of reasoning, you find that all professions need it. That's why I did it. I've been a medical doctor for very many years, and we see that there are very many gaps in medicine. And it's my belief that with my knowledge in law, I'll be able to even help a medical fraternity in interpreting the...
Why did he do law? Yes, he never went to do law to practice. He has done law to understand medicine, the legal aspects of medicine. Many Kenyans want to do law not to argue before the courts, but to do that. And also, some people want to do law so that when they are dead, they are obituary. They are called lawyers. Why should you deny people to have that bragging right that my father was a lawyer, my husband is a lawyer, my daughter is a lawyer? Why? There are very many reasons why people will want to do law. Law is not only being studied for the purpose of going to argue before courts. All these people, we are denying them that right. Let us have the freedom. Kenya is a country of opportunity. Kenya is a country for those wale wanajituma, waja wajitume, wapate wanachokitaka. Let the law not be the hindrance against individual development of our children. Wakili Danstan Omari endorsing and congratulating Dr. Johansen Oduor. I remember we have appeared, we have quarreled, we have argued with him in several cases. Not less than 15 to 20 murder cases. Johansen Oduor is on the side of the state. I'm on the side of the defense. A brilliant legal mind, a brilliant medical mind. This is a wake-up call. Let everybody who dream achieve their dream. Kenya is on the run. Asanteni.